A lot goes into the cost of college. From tuition to supplies, it can add up. So let's look at the expenses of attending college and the ways students and families cover the costs. The main costs of attending college are tuition and fees, room and board, books and supplies, transportation, and living expenses. Let's take a look at the average cost of these items across various types of colleges. As you see, these numbers add up fast. Tuition can double if you go to an out-of-state school versus staying in-state. And don't underestimate the cost of room and board. Every year, costs go up. Be sure to ask your college about expected increases over a 4 or 5 year period and factor that into your strategy to cover the costs. Most students use some form of financial aid to cover the cost of college. According to the National Center for Statistics, in 2016-2017, on average, about 85% of first-time, full-time undergraduate students attending a 4-year degree-granting institution are awarded some form of financial aid. And in 2018-2019, undergraduate and graduate students received a total of $246 billion in financial aid in the form of grants from all sources, federal work study, federal loans, and federal tax credits, according to research from the nonprofit College Board. Of the total in financial aid, undergraduate students received 76%, close to $187 billion. Including 96% of all federal grants and 58% of federal loans. According to College Board, all full-time undergraduate students received an average of $15,210 in financial aid. Of that total average, $9,520 were in grants, $4,410 in federal loans, $1,210 in education tax credits, and $70 in federal work-study awards. So, how did today's students and their families pay for college? According to a 2019 College Ave student loan survey conducted by Barnes & Noble College Insights, 64% of students use scholarships to pay for their education, while 50% of students pay for school with the help of a parent. 43% of students use federal loans, 37% of students pay for school with their own income or savings, and 12% of students pay for school with private loans. When asked about covering the costs of college, 55% of students said they alone will pay off their loan. 33.5% said they would share the costs in some way with their parents, and 7.5% expect their parents to pay the majority of their loan, and 4% of students will split the bill with their parents. So, how can you prepare? We asked a group of students to share some thoughts. In hindsight, many would rethink their research process for college. 80% said they would have researched more information about scholarships. 34% would have reached out to the financial aid office to ask for more aid. And 19% wish they would have investigated different student loan options. It turns out that 3 in 10 of the students we surveyed paid at least $10,000 more than they expected to. There are a few important things for families to consider as they prepare to tackle paying for college. First, establish a budget. Sit down as a family and discuss what you can afford with and without loans. Next, complete the free application for federal student aid. Enrollment opens every October. Lastly, educate yourself on funding sources such as scholarships, grants, and different kinds of student loans. To learn more about the cost of college and options available to cover it, visit collegeavstudentloans.com/resources.